Well, stakeholders from all over the state convened in Boise this weekend in an effort to come up with ideas on how to bring back salmon to Idaho. Last April, Governor Brad Little created the Salmon Work Group, and 6 on Your Side Steve Dent shows us what the group is learning and how it could lead to policy changes in the legislature.
They're what we call a keystone species, which means they have a disproportionate influence on their environment.
The governor's Salmon Work Group met in Boise this weekend to learn more on the complex set of circumstances which has led to a major decline in salmon.
Well, I think it's really innovative. The governor pulled together over 20 different stakeholders, and they represent almost every dimension of salmon steelhead here in Idaho. And to think about having consensus-based recommendations, these shared recommendations, that's really different than having one report with some dissenting opinions.
The work group learned how the ocean affects salmon in a presentation from NOAA, and what makes it difficult for salmon to make the perilous journey back to Idaho rivers to spawn.
Salmon need 3 things. They need natal habitat, they need a migration corridor to and from the ocean, where we measure metrics of survival, and then they need that estuary and ocean.
But before all of this, on Friday night, the work group held a public forum to hear from the people of Idaho.
Preaching removal of the 4 lower dams. It's an issue that's hotly debated, probably the biggest one that's debated on the issue. But I think there's pretty good evidence in science that it's the one that can make the most difference in significance.
Most of the people who spoke brought up the 4 dams on the Snake River. But the public forum also showcased the passion and how important the salmon run is for Idahoans.
My primary approach was appealing to empathy. It's a very complex issue with a lot of different people, all with different interests. And basically that, no complex problem or problem that involves differing viewpoints is ever solved harmoniously without it. So I encourage the group for everyone to look at the differing viewpoints, whether you're a conservationist, whether you're a farmer, whether you're interested in water resources, whether you're an agro or whether you're a barger and chipper.
Because if the trend continues like it's currently going, the next generation could grow up in Idaho without salmon.
Well, you've been talking through the course of your meetings about the 4 H's, excessive harvest, in some cases up to 80%, degraded natal habitat, hatchery practices, impassable hydro.
But the Salmon Work Group has a goal of recommending policy changes to the governor to help the salmon recover in Idaho.
And I think that means we're going to have to come up with a broad range of recommendations, and some of them are going to have to be pretty bold, right? We cannot be tweaking the things that we're already trying. We are going to have to really double down as a state and as a region and come up with plans that are bigger in scale than anything has ever been done before. And I think that's a big challenge, but it's also an incredible opportunity for Idahoans to influence this.
Steve Dent, 6 on Your Side.
Well, the work group has 3 more meetings on the horizon. In March, they'll be back in Boise. In April, they'll meet in Lewiston, and then they'll travel to Riggins in July.